How should you build the hidden potential for the upcoming EZA LR AGL Super Saiyan Goku and Vegeta and the PHY Metal Cooler? How's it, everybody? Celtic Link here. We got another Dokkan Battle video for you here today. We are taking a look at the 2022 Part 2 Worldwide LR EZAs, the PHY Metal Cooler, and the AGL Super Saiyan Duo. These guys' EZA will be dropping on July 15th at 7 p.m. Hawaii Standard Time, so about 10 p.m. PDT. And in this video, we're going to break down our recommended hidden potential for the two units. So let's go ahead and kick things off with the AGL Super Saiyan Duo. If you want to check out the Metal Cooler, go ahead and click on the timestamp in the description down below. These guys are Joint Forces Movie Heroes, Category Key 3, HP Attack Defense 170% with an additional 30% attack defense for Pure Saiyans category, right? So no change to their leader skill upon EZA. Honestly, it would be kind of cool if they actually upgraded them to 220 leads when they EZA. That would be pretty cool, at least for the DFE LR EZAs, you know? With that said, Ultra Super Attack is 18 key, greatly raises attack and defense for the turn. That's a 50% raise, and causes mega colossal damage while greatly lowering attack and defense. Very useful skill. On the 12 key, they are greatly raising attack and defense, or greatly raising attack and raising defense for the turn, causing mega colossal damage. So 50% on the attack, 30% on the defense. Now they have fixed their base form. Their base form is actually incredibly good now and easy to sort of play around and get their morale boost. Basic effects include key 5, attack defense 250% with damage reduction rate 30%, and an additional key 1 per type key sphere obtained. They launch an additional attack that has a high chance of becoming a super attack, and for 4 turns from their entry turn, they have an additional attack and defense 150%, an additional super attack, and 40% damage reduction rate with 200% defense and 20% damage reduction rate before attacking. What does that mean? That means for their first 4 turns, they have 90% damage reduction, which is incredibly good. Makes them very tanky, and it's also gonna make getting their costume change very easy because you know they will tank. When attacking with 18 or more key, they have 150% attack defense and a 50% chance of performing a critical hit. On the next attacking turn, after performing 3 or more super attacks and receiving 5 attacks in battle, or when you have 3 or more movie heroes on the team starting from the 5th turn, they receive their morale boost. So while this does seem scary, losing this after 4 turns, no matter what, after 4 turns, you're going into their morale boost. So it's kind of irrelevant. It makes it so you can easily float them, and if you don't get the hits in, you don't get the hits in, and they're still going to transform. It's very nice. I do like that fix. Once the morale boost is activated, nothing changes on their 18 or 12 key, still doing exactly what it did before, but their passive does shift. Passive is key 5, attack defense 300%, so a huge bonus, 70% damage reduction rate, an additional key 2 or type key sphere obtained, and an additional super attack. For 1 turn from their entry turn, they have an additional damage reduction rate 20%. So on that first morale boosted turn, they have 90% damage reduction. When attacking with 18 or more key, they have 150% attack and a 50% chance of performing a critical hit. When receiving an attack with 18 or more key, they get another additional 150% defense, and when activating their active skill or attacking with 24 key, they get attack 300% and 150% defense. They perform a critical hit and launch an additional super attack additional attack that has a 70% chance of becoming a super attack. Starting from their next attacking turn, they get a bonus 500% attack once only when facing only 1 enemy when attacking. This is designed so that way, as soon as that next turn comes out, you have an additional bonus to allow their active skill to hit some pretty hard numbers. Because of the way they built before, their active skill tended to not hit that hard. This mitigates that. It just gives you a powerful active skill turn, and then they kind of revert back to their normal damage, which is not bad. Their normal damage is still pretty good. So now, a lot going on in this kit. that begs the question, well, how do you build them? Well, since they are an AGL type, they're naturally going to lean into additional attacks, right, with a maximum of 40% more if you invest any hidden potential orbs into them, and that's exactly what we're going to do. Because getting the 24 key for them is incredibly easy, we don't really need to invest in crit, especially when they're dedicated equips already come with crit. So my recommendation is to lean into that additional attack. The additional attack is going to allow them to not only tank better post super, but also deal a little bit more damage. I've mentioned this before, I tend to be biased towards damage, although you could swap it for dodge, although you are losing out on some potential extra offense here. So just let that be known. And again, unless you have the dodge equips to fully maximize that, I don't know that it's worth giving up that extra super attack. So since they're equips, these are their standard equips. They're only level 8, right? And level 4 on each of them, and then level 5 on the gold. So, I mean, if you have god equips, I do recommend them. If you're going for the god, obviously, then maximize offense with these two. If you have an offense and defense orb or a additional and offense orb, I would definitely recommend using those for them, for their silver and gold. But if you don't have them, then their default works. It does give you a little extra crit to cover those scenarios where you can't get the 24 key. But I mean, in most cases, you're going to be able to get the 24 key pretty easily. So I wouldn't worry too much about it. So that is my recommendation for their hidden potential. Full additionals, you can go sub crit or sub dodge. Personally, I would go sub crit for those chances where you can't get the 24 key, because with 90% damage reduction on every appearance of theirs, you're not really going to need the dodge. So that's just my personal opinion. With that, let's go ahead and take a look at the PHY Metal Cooler. Wicked Bloodline, key 4, HP attack defense 200%. Standard for a Carnival LR, pre-2025. 18 key massively raises attack and greatly raises defense for the turn, causes mega colossal damage, and massively lowers enemies' defense. On his 12 key, he is raising attack and greatly raising defense for the turn, causing colossal damage to the enemy and greatly lowering attack. Basic effects include recovering 15% HP at the start of the turn. This is really going to help out Cell Max, right? Being able to keep this HP up. Key 5 and attack and defense 250%. His chance to perform a critical hit and damage reduction rate 50%. And for once only, additional critical hit and damage reduction rate 30%. Additional attack launches an additional attack that has a 70% chance of becoming a super attack. And when 80% or less HP, recover 10% HP. So again, helping manage that HP for Cell Max, because if he recovers that HP when you're below it, then it will reactivate his passive. When attacking for the first time, the more HP remaining, the greater the attack boost within the turn. He gets 200% bonus. When receiving an attack for the first time, he gets an additional defense bonus. Same thing, up to 200%, greater the HP. After receiving an attack, he recovers 10% HP at the turn, and key a permanent key 4 and a permanent attack and defense raise. When receiving an armor attack, he has a great chance of nullifying it. That's a 70% chance, and nullifies it guaranteed after his revival skill has been activated. When activating his active skill, he gets a temporary 350% attack, so allowing it to deal more damage. And it dealing more damage is actually really impactful, and we'll talk about that in a second. After the character's revival skill has been activated, he has a permanent attack 200% and defense 100% boost, guaranteed guard, and an additional 15% damage reduction rate before attacking. Very, very powerful skill there. Now for that active skill. Active skill will greatly raise his attack temporarily, causing ultimate damage to the enemy and recover 30% HP. Can be activated starting from the 5th turn from the start of battle, after he receives 7 or more attacks in battle, or after the revive skill is activated. So having that extra offense when he is dealing the active skill is great, much like the AGL Super Saiyan Duo. His original release left his active skill leaving a lot to be desired. So having that extra bonus, specifically when activating it, does help a lot. And of course, right, more HP recovery, always good for managing the HP of this team, since after all, right, you know, characters like Cellmax are going to benefit from being able to keep your HP up. So with all of that going on, that does beg the question, well, how do you build his hidden potential? He is a Fizz type, much like AGL, which means he's going to naturally lean into additional attacks with a 40% chance if you max it out, and that's exactly what we're going to do. You'll notice a pattern here. So for him, we will maximize that additional attack to get the most out of it, and mostly because of the extra added defense post super. Not to say that he's going to have too much problems defensively. I think it definitely is going to help, but it's also going to be helpful as he is one of the few characters, or one of the many characters rather, not few, one of the many characters on Metal Cooler's team and the movie Boss's team that has the ability to lower attack and defense. So having it's only on his 12 key, his 18 key isn't doing it. So having the ability to lower attack on his 12 key by giving him additional attacks, you are giving him more of the ability to do so. This is very helpful in fights like the Super Saiyan 3 Goku fight in the first two phases, or the God Goku fight in the first phase, or the Triku fight in the first and second phase. Like this ability is really helpful. So granting him not only the extra offense and defense through additional supers, but allowing him to take advantage of that is very helpful. So we're going to naturally lean into that. His special equipment, right, which comes from those special battles from I think it was 2024, year 9. If you have completed those, you have access to these, and quite honestly, I wouldn't change a thing, right? Even if unless you have God equipped variations of these are perfectly fine, right? The additional defense, level 8, level 2, while not a lot, is still going to be pretty good for this already insanely defensive character. The added level 6 defense bonus gives him 26 additional attack if you max out his additionals, which means he's got an extra 52% chance. So that is pretty good. So I would definitely recommend that. As far as his sub goes, I mean, you can go dodge or crit, doesn't really matter. Again, he's defensive enough that dodge for the most part is not going to make a difference. And again, I as I always say with dodge, if you're going to go dodge, you may as well go full dodge. There's no sense in going sub dodge that often, because the potential is just, right, adding 6 dodge is really not going to do anything much for him. However, the additional crit could help should you fail that 50% chance. So that would just be my personal recommendation. So guys, that is it. That is our final recommendation for the hidden potential for the AGL Super Saiyan Duo and the PHY Metal Cooler EZA. Again, final recommendations are to go full additionals on both, as it will benefit them the greatest. Their subs, you can go either way, whichever you prefer. So that's it for the video, guys. If you like the video, make sure you hit that like button, subscribe to the channel if you have not already, and in the comments down below, let us know, how would you build your Super Saiyan Duo and your Metal Cooler? Let us know in the comments down below. Otherwise, guys, as always, thanks for watching, and aloha.